All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I wasn't late. My mouse doesn't have battery. Again, no excuses. That one was actually fucking hard. And my neck fucking hurts. Yeah. Chop my neck, hold yourself accountable. That one was actually really fucking hard because my thumb just hit like my whatever this shit is. You can hear me type one, if not type two. If you can't hear me, there's something wrong with your mic. All right, cool. Cool, cool. Jesus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you saw yesterday's recording, put a one. If not, put a two. Awesome. Love to see that. I hope watching the recording made you realize, wow, this is so simple. But if that wasn't enough, today I'm going to make it even simpler. And you're going to actually see it with live examples of the market. Jesus, that one hurt. All right. Dude, you sound horrible, man. Well, because I might be getting off of a cold. The weather in Miami dropped by 2 degrees. Don't even fucking think about it. Okay. My cat is gonna do the same thing it did yesterday. And I'm telling it to not even think about it. Look at that. Red. Probably you. All right. Let me turn off the chat. Yeah, I don't know how you people are dealing with the snow right now. I give you guys props. I always do this. I always turn off the chat and I have to turn it back on. If you guys can see my screen, type one. If not, type two. Amazing. Thank you very much, guys. All right, cool. So yesterday we went and bro, I love that we kind of timed this perfectly because so much is gonna just be making so much sense in today's call. Everything's gonna be like a oh shit aha moment, you know? At least because you can literally see the live examples of absolutely everything, literally in these four markets right here. But before I go into all these examples, let's just start off where we left off yesterday. And that is with the checklist, right? So I know that once you reviewed the checklist, it makes a lot more sense and it's a lot easier to understand. I wanted to kind of put it in front of you the hard way first, but then now I want to put it in front of you the easy way, right? So you have to take this off. Trust me, this is about to make a lot more sense. All right. So everything we have here is broken down essentially into seven different things, right? Because we have the trend. So we're going to come here and we're going to break everything down here into seven. Let's put it like this, put it like this, and then we'll do another one. Fuck it. And then we'll do like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll do something with Dave, right? So the first one, confluence number one, technically, or we'll just leave it at 0 because we don't have a number on it, is going to be trend. We all know how to identify the trend of a market, right? Trend is going to be when you spot it, when it is bullish or it is bearish, right? That is trend. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. 2, are we touching the EMA or are we not? Well, I don't know. Are we? So this is what the EMA would look like. And let's just, for simple examples, put it right there. Let's say we have a wick rejecting it. It would be rejecting the EMA. Cool. That's what the EMA looks like. Do we have a candlestick rejection? Well, I don't know. Well, I skipped right through the area of interest, of course. Literally went from 2 to 1. Area of interest. So, do we have an area of interest? Well, just for this example's purposes, let's make this the area of interest, right? So we can go through the next steps, because if we're not at the area of interest, we cannot go through the next steps. And I'm going to do another example of that in just a second. So this would be our area of interest. So 1 or 0 is trend. We got that. 1, that it's technically area of interest. We got that. 2, touching the EMA. We got that. Very fucking simple. Now we have 3, a candlestick rejection. Okay. What is that? Well, again, let's copy the same thing here. And a candlestick rejection would be when you would have either a doji, a shooting star, a engulfing candlestick, a pin bar. We can just go to Google and search up Forex rejection candlesticks, which again, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to actually be showing you, but I don't want to like unfocus the chart from where we are right now. So these are all rejection candlesticks, candlesticks that have the wick, because clearly when price makes it to an area and then it has the push to the other side, and it leaves this big trail that's clearly showing that there is a rejection. Clearly, when price makes it to a demand zone, a supply zone, an area of interest, support and resistance, this leaves these wicks. These wicks are the confirmation of the rejection. These are rejection candles. These are rejecting candles. Anything with a big wick or anything with a big movement away from an area is a rejection. Picture it as if you were to have, I don't know what fucking analogy to put here. What is an example of a rejection? This is like, I don't even know if this is gonna make sense. I mean, I guess, right? So when you get rejected at the gym, right? When you get rejected at the gym, this, bro, whoever sees my tabs on Instagram will just be so confused on what the fuck is going on here, dude. But you guys will have a very clear understanding, dude. Look at my neck, bro. Red. Getting rejected. All right, so there you go. This is the perfect analogy right here. So when you go get, dude, we've all been there. All right, Michael, I feel you, man. Trust me. Dude, trust me. It's not as bad as it seems, bro. This one's bad. The hand is just disrespectful. If you get this, you might have a chance. Just letting you know. But if you get the hand, brother, you're fucked. No, there's no coming back from that. But whatever. The point is that if you get rejected like this is equivalent to having a wick, a candlestick, right? That is a great rejection. They pushed away. That is a rejection. But if they put the hand on you, brother, that is a massive rejection. That is when you have these big candlesticks pushed away. This candle that engulfs this one, or you have multiple wicks, you have multiple hands. You're getting the hand, you're being rejected. Like, and if you have a facial expression, dude, it's just go home. Like, call it a day. So this is the equivalent to here. So you can when you have a big bullish candlestick go into an area, right there, you don't have a rejection up to that point. After it, you have the rejection, right? So that's so you guys kind of get it a little bit more. I'm going to show you guys more examples when we actually go to the charts. But expect here wicks, expect here rejecting candles at the area of interest. So right now I'm doing it all separate, and then we're going to bring it all together. So here we have rejection candles, right? Next, or it's going to be rejection from the previous structure point. Jesus, what is the previous structure point? Well, it's the fucking previous structure point. How do you spot that? Very easy, man. If this is the lower high and this is the lower low that we all agree on, we start off with the head of the snake. And then we go through this right here. The first turn is not it. It's going to be the second turn. That is the previous structure point. So previous structure point is the second turn. Are we at the previous structure point? Well, to my understanding, this is the area of interest. So technically, we would be at this area. Let me just put here 4. Previous structure. 5, round psychological level. Well, do we have a round psychological level? I don't know. Well, this is where we would get our area of interest. And once we get our area of interest, we would then look for a round psychological level in here. Pretty much get our line. I don't know, for this example, let's just make it like this. And what do we have here? Let's just pretend like this is a round psychological level, because if I were to actually put a round psychological level, actually, I think I might be able to. Oh, look at that. Boom. Round psychological level, 200,000 inside of the area of interest. Wow. Very clear. Round psych level. And then lastly, we have a pattern. Okay, cool. So we'll go into here into the pattern. Pattern. Do we have a pattern here? Okay, cool. In this example, we technically have a break and retest. So we are retesting the previous structure point. We are break and retesting the previous structure point. This is the break and retest. The pattern is probably the only one that's going to take you some time to really get used to looking at it, but it's not going to make or break your trade. Patterns is just going to take some time. Clearly, this is break and retesting the previous structure point. If we were to do this, we are break and retesting the previous structure point. How do you know that's the previous structure point? Really easy. Head of the snake, first turn, second turn, previous structure point. So we technically do have a pattern of break and retest. And then lastly is going to be the shift of structure and then the engulfing. So here we have this time from here, which we're using the same one. Basically, shift the structure and engulfing is going to go all in one. Slash engulfing. We're bullish up to this point. Wait for the shift of structure, get your engulfing, and then you enter your trade. That's basically it, guys. That's literally everything I have taught you up to this point in front of you. And it's funny because I could have showed you this at the beginning of the boot camp and you would have been like, what the fuck is that? What are you talking about, dude? Now you look at it and you're like, bro, dude, I get it. The trend is so easy. Dude, I get it. I know how to put an area of interest. Bro, I get it. The EMA. I get it. I get it. It's super easy. Well, it's easy now, but it wasn't easy before. So all we do with like literally everything that you're seeing here is what is on this checklist. We went through everything inside of this right here, and we went through everything here right here. These 4 points are literally the same thing. We have the EMA, that is right here. We have the candlestick rejection, which is right here. we have the rejection from previous structure point, which is right here, and the pattern, which is right here. Like everything that I have taught you up to this point is literally right here. It's taken me about 3 weeks for you guys to see it and it become your new normal. And I'm telling you right now, that is something that is like record time. Like for me to really understand all this, it took me 2.5 years. And the fact that you're getting it this easy could be a problem because you might not really respect it or appreciate it. Or you might even be like, bro, is that really fucking that easy? Like, there's no way. Well, yeah, it's that easy because I'm making it that easy. But to get it beforehand, it wasn't easy. It became easy when you make a lot of mistakes and you learn from them and you're constantly looking for room for improvement. It becomes easy now, and that I've removed all the other bullshit and I removed trying to figure out only trading with this or only trading with this or only trading with this or only trading with any one of these. And I removed doing anything until we don't have all of these together. What do I mean by that? Well, basically the last step is once we have an area of interest, then we have once we have a trend, then we have an area of interest, and then once we have an area of interest, we spot the EMA, and then after we spot the EMA, we get the candlestick rejection, which I'm just going to redraw because it's not that easy to copy. We get the candlestick rejection. And then after we get the candlestick rejection, we then get a retest of the previous structure point, which is right here. And then we get a round psychological level, which let's pretend like we have one right here, which we actually fucking do, even though they just want me to put the perfect example of you guys. The trading legends just want me to put the perfect example for you guys. And round psychological level. And then we have the pattern right here, the break and retest. And then in order to enter the trade, we have the shift of structure. If you notice, might look a little fucking crazy like this if you were to just look at this. But now when you just look at this, you're like, oh, dude, I get it. I know what everything here is. But when it's all together, it might look a little complicated. But I have removed doing anything until this happens. Like, I don't think you guys understand the power of that. Like, I've literally only funneled your vision to only executing when you see one thing, not try and figure out how to always execute something on anything. And I think that is the secret to my success in trading, or the secret to the way how I constantly am predicting the market. Like, my success is not because of execution. It's because of when I don't execute. Like, I don't execute on bullshit. I only execute on quality trades. And this is probably like, how do I explain? Like, this is probably like this is it, like this is as simple and as clean as it's gonna get. So if everything up to this point makes sense, say yes. If not, say no. Watch out, you fat fingers. Watch out, you fucking fat fingers. All right. I feel like this is a perfect example and a perfect analogy. Cool. 98% of you guys say that it makes sense. Now, what questions do you guys have right now about this other than show me real examples, which we're literally going to get into next? Please don't spam. I will completely ignore you. Okay. All right. We're going to start by copy and pasting a couple of them. And if you don't have questions, please just save them. All right, cool. Alex, if rejection from previous structure point is 10%, and then we have a break and retest pattern. Which one would be, fuck, hold on guys, you're just spamming. Okay, cool. Which one would be at the same structure point? Is the 20%, or do we just class this as a 10% as it's exactly the same? No, it's two completely different things. Two completely different things. I get what you're saying, but it counts as two because sometimes you could be retesting the previous structure point, but the way the break and retest, like you could be having, you cannot be having a break and retest from the previous structure, but you have a break and retest from consolidation point. It's still considered a break and retest, but it's not as strong. The real valid break and retest, like a break and retest pattern, could be really anything. Like this is a break and retest right here. But the real valid break and retest is when it retests the previous structure point. So great question, great observation, great shit. I can't even lie. But no, they're like the break and retest pattern can't be the retest of the previous structure point. They're two different things. Great observation. See, brother Kalum Hawkins, that was a bomb question. Okay, next one here. Just turn off the chat for a second. For number 3 on the diagram, what time frame must you see the candle rejection on? What candle rejection do you look that works for you? Number 3. So yeah, that's basically what I said. I'm going to go show you examples right now in the chart. What touching does the EMA mean? When we talked about it before, you said we'll describe it later. Well, it's when it's literally touching the EMA, and I will describe it later because right now I'm making up my own EMA, and I want to describe it when we actually go to the chart. Okay, here we have another one. I mean, obviously we have a bunch. Question to the previous structure point. Let's say we are bullish and we have just created a higher high and a higher low. Let's also say we create an accumulation between the higher high and the higher low without breaking them. Can there be a previous structure point in the accumulation? Okay, I'm gonna let you answer this question, Axel, right? So you're asking, right? Let's start off by your first point. Let's say we are bullish and we create a higher high, right? We're bullish and we create a higher high and a higher low. Let's also say we create an accumulation between the higher low and the higher high without breaking them. Okay, so let's create an accumulation in between the higher high and the higher low without breaking them. And the previous structure points, can there be a previous structure point in the accumulation? Well, how do you find the previous structure point? By having the head of the snake, the tail of the snake. Point 1, point 2. This is the previous structure point. You can't have a previous structure point in the fucking future, Axel. This doesn't make any sense. So, no, to answer your question. I don't even know how the fuck you come up with that question, but it's okay. So great that somebody observes this point right here. See, dude, where have you guys been on along, huh? You guys are asking great questions. But again, this one I'm gonna have to tell you we're gonna wait for the next one. Sometimes when the market created a long ass wick, you said that you think the wick will be filled by the next candle. What do you mean by that? Since the candle with a long wick is a rejection candle. Great question, great observation. And that's kind of one of those things where I am now drifting already fully, and just certain shit doesn't apply to me, like stop signs, red lights, and civilians. Just doesn't apply to me, dude. I'm fucking drifting. You get out the way, you get ran over. But you're just getting started. Like you don't have that type of observation yet that you can't drift through a red light, drift through civilians, and drift through a stop sign. But I'm gonna teach you how to do that very soon. I made a spreadsheet to enter all of the confluences and it automatically calculates the grade of the trade for you. Isaac, dude, you want a job, man? Like, I'm telling you, bro, there's some really smart motherfuckers out there, man. I made a spreadsheet to enter all of the confidences and it automatically calculates the grade of the trade for you. Dude, congrats, man. I'm a little, I'm not that tech savvy, a little old school. I'm gonna still have to manually write it, check it off on a piece of paper. But if you got that, bro, you got that. When you join the community, you can share that with the people. What if step 7 is not at the area of interest? You could go watch the recording, pal. Go watch the recording, pal. Can we push the class to later need to rewatch the recording? No, sir. Sorry. Apologize for that. Go watch the recording and then watch this recording. Sorry about that, sir. Can we ignore the weekly area of interest and focus on the daily area of interest? Yeah, of course. That's what I've talked about. Is it possible the strategy doesn't work in a few years? When we get to that point, I guess we'll have to figure it out. But from here to a few years, I'm sure you would make loads of profits. But I highly doubt that. As the markets change, I change as well. Just to confirm, we get the weekly area of interest first? Yes. Do we always wait for the candlestick to close? Yes. So how long will it take me to get so patient like you, man? Great work. Michael? I don't know, dude. Everybody's different. I know people that are more patient than me. And I know people that never became patient and then never became profitable. If you never have the ability to understand that this is a waiting game and you're always trying to like fight, you will not become profitable. And that has nothing to do with me. That's literally all to do with you. All right, cool. So I'm going to be moving on now to the charts. So let's take this little checklist with us. Don't want to waste too much time on just. They're not, these really weren't bad questions. These are great questions. But rather show you guys more live examples. All right, cool. Now, let's go to our trusty trade NZD CAD, right? Which is a trade that we wanted to break down. Cool. So this is our checklist, right? Let's actually do it on a different server. Cool. Now what? All right, we're on Sunday swings. We're here. What the hell do we do? What's step 1? Do we take the trade? Do we fucking put our stop loss? Do we look for the shift to structure? What do we do? Correct. Step 1, find the trend. What time frame do we start to find the trend on? Correct. Correct. Beautiful. You guys are active. So I'm going to do a full-blown example first. So then you guys can come back and watch this segment of the recording and see it's fully like without it being interrupted. And then you can participate now in the next examples, right? So I'm going to do a full-blown example right now, like how I would do it. And then we will go into the examples with you guys participating. Step 1, analyzing the trade on the weekly time frame. What is the market doing? Are we bullish or are we bearish? Well, technically speaking, if you were to zoom out enough, this market would be bullish. This is the higher high, and then this is the higher low. This market is bullish on the weekly time frame. Cool. Next, we go down to the daily time frame. Are we bullish or are we bearish? Well, you can go back a little far. There's no big structure moves. You can come back in. Ooh, higher low, higher high. Da, 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 da. We are bearish. Cool. Amazing. Next, 4 hour. Are we bullish or are we bearish? Well, based off of my observations here, it's very clear that this market is bearish. Lower high, lower low. Cool. What do we have here? We have one time frame to the upside, and then we have two time frames to the downside. Well, if you ask me, right? I don't know. I'm not an old timer, but if you ask me, it makes more sense to do something if there's more things telling you to go in one direction versus the other. If you have two possible scenarios to make money rather than one, it should make a little more sense to only look for the sells, right? And now we would probably get asked, okay, we have to set a weekly area of interest. And this is a shitty, super shitty example for this because like this is the higher high, this is the higher low. This is all the structure in between. There's no real area of interest anymore simply because this has just been in here for so fucking long. This has been in here for 2 years inside of this higher high and higher low. So for the weekly, there would be no area of interest. But if, let's say, for example, this would be bullish, for example, right? From right here, which obviously is not the case, but let's say it would be bullish from right here. Let's just take this off. Let's take this off. And I actually really like that we're doing this example. Let's say that the weekly would be bullish from this higher high and this higher low right here, which would not be the case. This would be the higher low right here, right? Let me leave that clear. But let's just say this would be the higher low. You would have to find an area of interest somewhere in here, which let's just say once again, for example's purposes, this would be the area of interest right here. You would want to get into this counter trend trade because you're trading against a weekly time frame from wherever you're looking to sell up to this point right here. This is the area where you want to get out at. Just to clarify, if this makes sense, say yes. If not, say no. Okay. And there's a majority that get it, and there's a very small minority that doesn't get it. So 86% get it, 14% don't. So that leads me to understand that it is indeed in the recording, and you're going to go and watch it because I cannot lose the momentum and the flow here. So go watch the recording of like 4 or 5 days ago, and you'll be able to understand it. Cool. So that is just for that example, right? So we got very sidetracked there. So let's go back to the weekly time frame, right? So weekly time frame, we're looking to sell. We cannot find an area of interest to sell on the weekly time frame, only an area of interest to then buy. Well, this is the area where we would buy on the weekly, so we are aware of where we're looking to get out if price were to make it there. Cool, but we're looking to sell, so let's go find an area of interest on the daily time frame. Sick. So we have two time frames in sync, so we know that now we move on to the next step, which is going to be area of interest. So right now we're on the next step, which is weekly area of interest is out the picture. Now we're on the daily area of interest. Cool. Where's the lower high and where's the lower low? No, wait, for you guys to get a guess. Where's the lower high? Where's the lower low? Should be quite easy. Lower high and lower low. Pretty damn simple if you ask me. Cool. Now we have our area where we know where we're going to be looking for areas to buy and sell. Cool. Let's work our way up. So we understand that if price has a pullback to this level, we have one structure point, and then we look a little more left. Not that clean. Not good. So we keep it coming up. Boom. Now we're hit with this level here. 1, 2, 3, 4 ish. So we can do this. We can pull up down and we can make a little zone. We got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a fucking solid zone if you ask me. Daily area of interest number 1. Let's keep it going. We'll go back up to the top of the lower high and we'll start from here. All right, boom. We have 1. Nothing really, literally just 1. We keep coming up. We got right here now 1, kind of 2, maybe 3. Let's say fuck it. We want to add it. And we'll lower it a little bit so we get that structure point. So we have 1, 2, 3, kind of 4, 5, 6. Sure. And then we'll do it to the last lower high. Dun, 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 dun. Work our way up. Bum, 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 bum. Boom. The hell do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sure. Daily area of interest number 3. Cool. So these are the 3 possible areas that this trade can have a retracement to then have the sell. Area of interest 1, area of interest 2, and then area of interest number 3. Now, we know that it's probably going to take a while to make it to area of interest number 3. So we don't really have to have this right here. We could take that off, right? We could take off the area of interest 3. So now we only focus on 2 things on this chart. Area of interest 1 and area of interest 2. Cool. Now what? The fuck do we do now? I don't know. I don't know. I'm a beginner in this. What the hell do we do now? Well, if we were to listen to some guy named Alex, he would have gave us a trading plan. Well, what does the trading plan say? Okay, area of interest. Okay, are we at the area of interest? No. Have we rejected the area of interest? No, I think. What is a rejection from an area of interest? Well, this is a rejection. This is a rejection. And would you look at that? It looks like it's rejecting the area of interest, and it looks like it's rejecting the EMA. How weird. It looks like we've seen this before. Alex has talked about it before, and it looks like it makes sense. This looks like it's rejecting the EMA. This looks like it's rejecting the area of interest. This looks like it's rejecting the EMA and the area of interest. Interesting. Well, we'll come back to that. I feel like Alex has said that before, but I'm going to pretend like I did not hear it. I'm going to ask him the question just in case. So since we're not at the area of interest, we shouldn't move on, right? Nah, fuck it. We're going to move on. We're going to move on to touching the EMA and then the candlestick rejection. Wait, I don't get it. We're not touching the EMA and we don't have a candlestick rejection. No fucking shit. Because you're not at the area of interest. You can only move on to the next steps once you're at the area of interest. So all you have to do right now is wait. Wait. Oh, shit. We're at the area of interest. That was actually a lot faster than I was trying to do it. We're at the area of interest. No, fuck. I got to go back. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. That actually happened really fast. I'm over here talking shit. Cool. So all we have to do right now is wait. Okay. Sure. Oh shit. Oh shit. We're at the area of interest. We're at the area of interest. Now what? Well, now the whole entire checklist comes into play. This is now where we start off with confluence number 1, or technically confluence number 2. Confluence number 2. Are we at the area of interest? Yes, at daily area of interest. Have we rejected the area of interest? No, that is not a rejection candlestick yet from the area of interest. These wicks are rejection candlesticks. Price just pulled up to the area of interest, so we're just at the area of interest. Okay, cool. So at the area of interest, rejection, confirmed, deleted. We only have one of them. So you know what? Let me actually do this. Rejection, deleted, area of interest, confirmed. Are we touching the EMA on the daily time frame? Well, This is where the EMA is. This is where price is. Are we touching it? Clearly the fuck not. This is when we are touching it. This is when we're touching it. This is when we're touching it. Are you touching it? No. So we do not have a touching the EMA. Do we have a candlestick rejection? Well, this does not look like a really big wick. This does not look like price does not like this area. A rejection is when price does not like that area. And as of right now, this just pulled up to it. It has not had any rejection. This trade or this person has just approached the woman. You have just approached it and you're about to give her your pitch. Now you're either going to get rejected or not. As of right now, you have just approached her. You have just reached to her. Now you're either about to get rejected or not. That's really it. It's the best example I could fucking put. So after you understand that there is no candlestick rejection, you move on to the next one. Is there a rejection from the previous structure point? Jesus. How the fuck do we analyze the previous structure point? Well, okay, hold on, think about it. It has step two, right? Step one is the structure, step two is, okay. So the head of the snake, the tail of the snake. Turn one, is it turn one? No. Is it turn two? Yes. Structure, previous point. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, we're on to something. So we have rejection slash at previous structure point, right? So this would be added as number 3 at previous structure point. Again, when we are rejecting it, we would change this from at to rejecting. We would change this from at to rejection. So we have price at the previous at the previous structure point, at slash rejection. Obviously, you want it to be rejecting. Cool. So we have this. Do we have a round psychological level? Shit, I don't know. Do we? Let's come into here. Put the line in there. Check the coordinates. Oh shit. Oh shit. 82,500. We do have a round psychological level. Come into here. Fucking cat, bro. Fucking motherfucker, dude. Jeez, bro, I'm telling you, she fucking fucks shit up all the time, bro. Fuck. Fucked up my flow, dude. This stupid cat, man. Look at my shotgun, bro. Fuck. All right. Actually, I was so much in the zone. We're at the previous structure points. No, where the fuck are we? Round psychological level, right? Round psychological level. Do we have it at this area of interest? Yes. Great. Cool. But Alex, we have broken above the round psychological. Who cares, dude? We just have it at the area of interest. It's just it's a little salt on top of the food, bro. The meat's gonna be great already if it's cooked well. When you add the salt, it just gives it that little extra flavor. It's the same thing here. Round psychological level is indeed there. And do we have a pattern? Well, we have a very clean break and retesting the previous structure point. So we do have a pattern, but we actually have a bigger pattern, which is actually seen right here. Mr. Big Boy here, left head, and then a right shoulder. So we are kind of like retesting the neckline of this head and shoulders. So this is indeed a confirmed head and shoulders. So we have here 5 head and shoulder, or a break and retest. You're not going to do 20%. No, pick one or the other because it's just too much, right? I always like going with the head and shoulders. So right now we do have a pattern, which indeed it is the head and shoulders. So up to right now, we have analyzed what this market is currently doing. I have not made anything up. I have not done any fugazi. I have not done any black magic. I'm just reading the market and I'm realizing what the market is doing right now. The market is bearish on the daily and bearish on the 4 hour. The market is indeed at an area of interest. The market indeed is at the previous structure point, and the market indeed does have a round psychological level, and it does have a head and shoulders pattern. Not one of those things that I make up. Cool. Now what? We got through the whole entire checklist on the weekly and the daily. Well, I guess we now go to the 4-hour, right? It's pretty much the only thing that makes sense. Cool. So I'm going to delete all this right here. And we're going to now go to the 4-hour time frame. And on the 4-hour time frame, we're going to realize that currently right now, at the time of us doing this analysis, we are still very much bearish. This is still the lower high. This is still the lower low. Lower low here, lower high here. Let me just take these off because I feel like they're clouding the chart. So it's this, so it's this, and so is this. Cool. Now, we already went through all of this. So let me just kind of hide it, right? We don't really need to see everything on top of here. Like we don't have to see anything here because we already went through it. So to remove noise, we can just hide it. Cool. 4-hour checklist. Are we touching the EMA? Well, this is where the EMA is right now. We are technically not touching or rejecting the EMA. So we don't have that. So we simply cannot add it. Do we have a candlestick rejecting? Well, not really. There's no real rejection from this right now. So we don't have that. Do we have a rejection from the previous structure point? Well, I don't know. Do we? Lower high, lower low, head of the snake, turn 1, turn 2. Oh, shit. We're at the previous structure point. Yes, we got that. So we add back here onto our trading plan the previous structure point. Cool. So we have this. Do we have any patterns? I mean, just really like break and retest. It's really it. Like we're break and retesting. It's really it. It's really not much to it. So come here and then we add. Break and retest 4-hour. Cool. Next. Oh, it's basically it. That's all we have from the 4-hour. Now we go into the entries. So we have so far everything that we need from the 4-hour, everything we need from the daily. Now we're going to go break down the entry. Dun, dun, dun. The difficult part, right? It's actually the easiest fucking part, guys. So now actively in here, all we're going to be looking for is a shift of structure, either on the 2-hour, the 1-hour, the 30-minute, or the 15-minute, whichever one looks cleaner. So let's begin. This is going to be the 2-hour higher low. Technically, I don't really like this one. So this would be the 2-hour higher low. This would be the So in order for us to enter this trade, we would have to wait for this break. So I'm going to make this red. So we know that in order for us to enter this trade, we would have to wait for it to break. Let me just take it off. Boom, black here, color, black, red. So the 2-hour, we have to wait for a break here. The 1-hour, we would have to wait for a break here because this is the 1-hour higher low. So then the 30 minutes, we would have to wait for a break here. Honestly, I could argue that it would be this point right here, right? This shift of structure right here. 30 minutes. Higher low. And then you have the 15 minutes higher low, which is technically already shifted. So this would be the 15 minutes higher low, and we have broken it. So this will be the lower high and new lower low. But if you want to wait for extra confirmation, you could wait for the break of this 15-minute structure point. So 15-minute structure. It's definitely not the higher low because this market is bearish, but you can wait for the break of this structure point. So now this is where the real magic happens, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to wait for the shift of structure on the 2-hour, which is all the way down here, meaning price would have to break through all of this? Probably not, because the trade would be gone. Are you going to wait for the shift of the 1-hour, which is going to be when it does this? Maybe. It's really not that far. Or are you going to wait for the shift of the 30-minute? Well, the 30-minute and the 1-hour are kind of on the same spot, really. Because maybe I can count this as the 30-minute, but I mean, yeah, it could pass by it, but just to be safe, you can put it down here. Or do you want to take a trade now just because of the 15-minute? You know what? I want to wait for a cleaner shift of structure. Again, this is where you have to ask yourself the questions on what you're going to be doing. So we're just going to leave it on the 30-minute, and we're going to bring over here our trusty checklist, which up to right now, fuck, I hate how I do this sometimes. I do them too long. Which is up to right now, we have 20% here, 10% here. That is 10%, 5%, 10%, 10%, and then I don't even know how much is the pattern. I forget all of them. 10%, 10%. Okay, cool. Put 10% here. So to right now, you have 20, 30, 40, 45, 55, 65, 75. So you have a C plus setup, I believe. Yeah, you have a C plus setup. So this trade right now has a 75% grade, which again, it's fantastic. This is how I graduated high school. But the real trades that you want to take are literally the next step after this, which if you realize the next confluence that you add, which is literally going to be the shift of structure, which 8 is going to be shift of structure, and 9 will then be entry. You're going to have 20%, which will then bump this trade up to a 95%, which is fantastic. But you always have to wait for these two. You cannot take the trade without these last two right here. So let's continue to play it out. Okay, cool. Look at that. That's why you maybe wouldn't want to take a trade on the shift of a 15-minute structure, because some shit like this would happen. So again, you can have your own type of opinion. Yes, you could have. And you could have taken this trade right here. So you could have taken the trade right there. You have an engulfing candlestick. Let's say that the engulfing candlestick, whatever. Let's just say it's this one. Let's say this would be your stop loss right here, 10 pips. You would then have to have a 10 to 15 pips added to this. So you would have a 20 pip stop loss or 25 pip stop loss, whichever one makes you feel better. Let's go with a 20 pip stop loss because you're going from 10 to 20. You technically still be in this trade just through some unnecessary drawdown because you're not waiting for the proper shift of structure. Up to right now, you're waiting for the shift of structure of the 30-minute or the 1-hour. The 2-hour is really out of the picture. So right now we have a new classified and valid 30-minute higher low, which is going to be this one right here. So you got to be quick. You got to constantly be like watching the market and updating shit as it's going. The 15-minute structure has changed as well. It's now this one right here. And then the 1-hour structure has changed or no? Yes, the 1-hour higher low has changed as well. So this is where the 1-hour higher low is as well. So now what we're waiting for is for a break and retest structure of this area here to then sell. Right. So in literally what, like 4 or 5 hours, shit changed. So you see, like when we are at the area of interest is when we are active in front of the markets, constantly looking for examples, not when we're not in front of the area of interest. Cool. Now we know where we're gonna be waiting for the shift to structure, and we wait. So play it again. All right, cool. Not a break of structure. Okay, cool. Break of structure. So here we have our official break of structure from this point right here. So you can either wait for this trade to come back and retest, or you can enter on this engulfing candlestick right here. I have many trades that I have entered on the bottom of this push, and there's many trades where I have waited for the pullback. Either or does not matter. You're the only difference in between taking this trade and taking the trade if it were to potentially retest is one, your stop loss is bigger, and two, your risk to reward gets smaller. So when you take the trade down here, your stop loss goes from being 20 pips to then 30. And your risk to reward goes from being a 1 to 2 to then a 1 to 6 or a 1 to 5. So you have to go and try and hold this trade longer for it to the trade to even make sense. That's the only con. Sorry. Excuse me. They're attacking me with coronavirus and shit for exposing this, bro. I'm telling you right now, you guys better learn this shit quick before they take it away from us, okay? Or they take me out. I should close these windows now. But it's such a nice day outside. So the point that I want to make is that you can take it here on the break, or you can wait for the retest. The choice is yours. So though both trades are fine, just you're gonna have to compensate for the risk to reward on the other one. So this is officially when we are now, boom, in the trade. So we can either enter the trade here or wait for the trade for the retest. In this example, we did indeed get a retest. And then on this retest, we have a perfect engulfing candlestick. This is where you would enter your trade. You have a 20 pip stop loss up to this point. You would then add 10 pips. So you would have a 30 pip stop loss. So your stop loss should be somewhere around up here. So you're giving this trade plenty of motherfucking breathing room. So here you broke the 1 hour structure, you broke the 30-minute structure, and the 15-minute structure. I like that when all three structures break at the same time, because it shows that it is very, 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 very clearly accumulating here on all time frames, and that you just simply have to wait for the shift of structure on this specific zone, right? So if you notice, you have the shift of structure, and then after you have the shift of structure, you have the retest of the area of interest. Sometimes you have the shift of structure and all this a little bit away from the area of interest. So let's say the area of interest would be up here. That's a little bit of a turnoff. But the real golden shit is when you have the shift of structure in the middle of this area of interest. And when you break it, you come back and you retest this area of interest. Bet your fucking house on it. I'm telling you right now, dude. So if it's like this, there's nothing wrong with it, because you did pull up to the area of interest, you did reject it, and you did have the shift of structure. Now you're just waiting for the retest of this right here, and you got it. Your stop loss is above the shift of structure, and it is inside of the area of interest, which is perfectly fine. This is just the golden move right here. This is the move that you would always want to wait for. And these come once every week or every 2 weeks. Literally, these are the trades that I wait for every single fucking time. So as soon as you would enter this trade, you would confirm you have your shift of structure, price shifted from the 30-minute to the 1 hour, and then we have our engulfing. So we're here, we have a shift of structure on the 15 minutes, we have a shift of structure on the 30 minutes, and a shift of structure on the 1 hour. And then here we have our entry is a engulfing on the 30-minute time frame. So we have an engulfing on the 30-minute time frame. So if you have a shift of structure on the 15-minute, you then scale up to the next time frame to look for the engulfing. If you have a shift of structure on the 30 minutes, you then scale up to the next time frame to look for then the entry engulfing. Or you could use the same time frame if you want. But if you want to get a better confirmation, you go up to the next time frame. So then here you have your stop loss. Now your take profit has to be set at the next structure point on the daily. So for this example, technically, we're supposed to set it on the body of this right here, because it's the next structure point, and obviously this risk to reward will not make sense, meaning we should not be taking this trade. But since we are trading with the trend and we are having 2 time frames in sync, we can have lower take profits. So my take profit was originally set to this structure point right here, which happens to also be the bottom of this wick right here, but I am placing it on the bodies. And then I just basically decided to just free for all this shit. I said, you know what? I want to get at the bottom of this wick right here inside of the zone, which is not the correct thing to do. But again, I am a professional drifter. I have been doing this for a very long time, so I kind of just know shit. but you will know shit in due time. But the correct way to do it is to place it at the next structure point. So if you notice right here, this area is clearly an area where price pulls up to and it always has a reaction to. You want to make sure that you have your take profit set here because you want to get out before price gets there. You want to get out before price gets here and then potentially has a reaction how it's had here many, many times. If you notice here, it went from being bullish, higher low, higher high, bearish, and then fucking fully bullish again. So this is, and then same thing here. This went from being fully bearish, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, to then using this zone to then go bullish. So the same thing could easily happen here. It can use this and it can still happen right now. I'm not saying I'm fucking, let me actually check my trade. Give me a second. Where the fuck am I in my trade? Okay, I'm still fine. So I'm not saying that you're full clear because now we're bearish, we're in the trade and we're using the set and forget strategy. No, brother, you can go ask her on a date and you can not get rejected and you can still go on a couple's date and she could be a dude. Why did I say that? It's a really bad joke. All right, you can still, that was so bad. All right. Should have not said that. But whatever. You can do everything, right? You can go do the top-down analysis. You can go up to her and you can do your thing. And she can still be toxic, right? And it cannot even work out. She could take your money, she can waste your time, she can be a dude, right? Just speaking facts right now. So just because you're in the trade doesn't mean you're all clear of it, right? Just wanna leave that clear. So after you confirm that you have your risk to reward and that it makes sense, or you're okay with holding the trade a little bit longer, then fuck it. You go ahead and then you execute the trade. But one big but. Before you execute the trade, right? So you're right here on the 30-minute and you're ready to execute the trade. Where the hell is the checklist? Oh, right here. Oh, but where's the other one? Right here. So if you're about to execute the trade and you have your entry, you have everything you need to execute this trade, you always want to make sure you revisit all of your confirmations. So literally, as you're about to click the sell button on this shit right here, as you're about to click sell and you're about to get ready to put money at risk, go ahead and revisit all of this. So you work from the top down to enter the trade. So you go from step 1, 2, 3, all this to enter the trade. Now, before you enter the trade, you're now going to start working backwards. All right. Do we still have the shift of structure? Yes, we do. Do we still have a break and retest on the 4-hour? I don't know. Do we? Do we go on the 4-hour? Oh, yeah. We're definitely break and retesting this area right here. Cool. Confirmed. The 5-hour. Do we, the 5-hour. Do we have a head and shoulders and a break and retest on the daily? Oh yeah, dude, we're definitely still having that confirmation. We are definitely even rejecting now this area here. Do we still have the round psychological level? That hasn't moved. Are we still rejecting? Are we still at the previous structure point? You know what? No, we are not at the previous structure point. We are now rejecting the previous structure point. So here's where you would add rejection from previous structure point. Cool. Are we still at the daily area of interest? No, we are now rejecting the previous, we are now rejecting the daily area of interest. Do we still have the daily bearish? Indeed, we do. Do we still have the 4-hour bearish? Indeed, we still do. There's still a lower high, still lower low. Dude, the trade confirms. Everything checks off. Everything is lit. And if you want to come back into here and see if we have some things that we didn't have before, you can as well do that. So, for example, here, if we were to check on the 4-hour, from the 4-hour checklist, you can see that the 4-hour checklist, we have the, I'm trying to make everything fit, dude. Wow, it's not looking ugly. If we check here the 4-hour checklist, you can see that now we are touching the EMA. So all you do is come back to the list and just refresh it. Are we touching the EMA now? Yep, we have a rejection. So you would add this somewhere in here. Do we have a candlestick rejection on the 4-hour? Yes, the 4-hour is indeed rejecting. We have two dojis rejecting this 4-hour along with this. Cool. Do we have the rejection from the previous structure point? Yes. And then the pattern is still there. So if in the first go around, the trade doesn't have all the checklist, you can go back to it at the point that you're about to enter the trade and have extra confirmations on the reason on why you're going to be entering the trade. So here is a perfect checklist. Like you can add all that other stuff. It just gives you more percentages into your grade. It probably give you like 110%. And that's where you're like, yo, this trade makes motherfucking sense, dude. I'm ready. This trade should go straight into my take profit immediately. And as soon as you execute, it does. But then guess what? You feel like the man here. You're sending pictures to your girl. Say, yo, dude, I'm the man. We're going to go out to dinner tonight. We're going to have a great time. All this work has been worth it finally. Shout out to Addicts. And I'm a fucking profitable trader now. And then 2 hours later, you're even more of a profitable trader. And you feel more like the king. You feel more like the man. Like you're meant for this shit. And then you end up having this. Now here, you are saying, fuck the date. Fuck Alex. Fuck the forget strategy. Fuck that guy. That shit was a lie. That shit was not real. That was bullshit, scam. Well, this is where you are either built for this shit or not. Everything up to this point is literal bullshit. Like everything we've done is just reading the market. Literally bullshit. We're just reading. If you can't fucking read a language, then you're ass. We're learning a new language. Once you read it, that's easy. But then to go out there to the field and put it to the test is where it really means if you're built for this shit or not. You go learn a language, and then if you're scared to go out to a club or go out to a dinner area, whatever, and go and execute that language in this new country and try to catch a trade, everything that you learned in class is bullshit if you don't have execution or management. Or maybe you do have execution. Maybe you could enter. Maybe you could approach this person. But if you can't manage it and continue the conversation going, you're pretty much shot. You can learn great in class. You can learn great how to have all of the theories and all of the verbs and all that shit. And you can go and execute it. Like you have balls. You'll go up to a girl and you'll go say what's up. But if you can't keep the conversation going or you just start doubting yourself, that's it. Everything that you did in class, everything that you did in practice is pointless. It's meaningless. It's the same exact thing here. You can learn the whole entire confluences. You can learn how to read it. You can learn how to execute. But if you're not ready to manage it, it's all bullshit. It's literally all pointless because you can't feel like the man when you're in a little bit of profit. And then when the trade goes back into your entry, you're doubting yourself. You can't feel like the man when you're in practice having a simulated conversation with a teacher on how to speak a language. But then when you go out there, you completely fold. You can't do that. You either keep it going, you either take the loss if you just get rejected because she doesn't understand your language, or you take the trade home. One of the two are gonna happen. There's no fucking in between. You either get the trade or you don't. It's the same thing as like mid conversation. You're not gonna just walk away, dude. Like what the fuck? That's exactly what you would be doing right here. Like mid trade, and let's say if it goes back into drawdown, you can't just be like, oh fuck this, I can't handle it, I can't handle it. Dude, what do you mean? How can you not handle it? You literally understood what you're gonna risk before you entered the trade. You understood exactly how much you're gonna lose. You understood before you go approach a girl that there's a risk of getting rejected. And you were okay with it. Now that you're probably in the rejecting stage, she's kind of leaning back a little bit and she's kind of getting away a little bit. Now you have a choice. You either keep going for it
or you try and save it. You try and like pretend like you were flicking your hair or some shit. Or you can walk away, which you can't do that. You either have full stop loss hit or take profit hit. There's no in between. And in all of that process, you're gonna fucking like, fight. She's gonna, reject, and you're gonna fucking, I should have done a surfing analogy, dude. Fuck, wow. But whatever. I'm too deep invested into this already. Like she's gonna reject, and you're gonna keep trying. You're gonna go for the save. It's gonna be a battle. It's fucking. Hey. No, dude, because out of nowhere, she just fucking and like fucking attacked me. So whatever. In the middle of this, you're in the battle. You're just going, you're going and going and going, and it might have gone terribly wrong, and then it might have gone a little bit good, and then it almost hit stop loss. But then the importance is at the end of the day is that you're sticking through it because you're a man or a woman, right? You're sticking through it. Doesn't matter the circumstance because you accepted the outcome. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're just going to lose whatever you risked. If you were okay with losing that, then you should have never even put it at risk in the first place. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're just going to get rejected. That's it. You're not going to get stabbed. You're not going to get shot. Well, I don't know. Depends where you go, right? If you go to the wrong place, you might. But nothing's terribly wrong going to happen. You get rejected, you move on, you go to another one. And when you get rejected, you're not going to let that affect your next trade because literally you getting like this, whatever happened here has no correlation to then the next trade. It's a completely different trade. They're two completely different things. You're not going to let this one trade affect you in your next one. They're two completely different trades that has nothing to do with one another. So if you stick through it long enough, you kind of stick to the plan, you learn the language, you battle through it. And most importantly, you follow the set and forget fucking strategy and you set and fucking forget. It will end up playing out at the end. And I guarantee you this battle will be worth it. Dude, I should be a fucking comedian, dude. And I know this on all these analogies make sense. So before that, right? Let me just clarify. While you're in the middle of this, you're probably feeling like the man again. You're like, yo, you rejected me, huh? Huh? But now you're coming back. All right, cool. Don't feel like the man just yet. The job's not done until the job's not done. You can, maybe have gotten some action in the bro, I should have not done these analogies, but I'm in too fucking deep already. And we're all adults here. So you know what? You got some, first base in the wherever the fuck you were. And now, you're in the car, got some music on, everything's going great. Now you're not there yet. You haven't gotten to what you are looking to do, right? Like just because you're on the way to the take profit doesn't mean you're at the take profit. Same thing here. Just because you're on the way to the take profit doesn't mean you're at the take profit. Shit can reverse very quick out of nowhere. Trump can make a tweet, done. That's it. Trade straight to stop loss. You could be on the way to the house and she could get a text message from her boyfriend. Boom, that's it. Trade is done. There's nothing that you can do about it. Like, you can't control that shit. So, I'm fucking crazy. Oh man, I can't do with these analogies, bro. I can't. I should have literally picked a completely different one, bro, but I'm too deeply invested, bro. So whatever, you keep the trade going into the trade hits your take profit. Now, when you hit take profit, you hit take profit. Okay. You don't want to overdo it. Sometimes that could go good, but sometimes that could go terribly wrong. Like, I don't know what you guys are imagining right now. I'm literally talking about this trade right here. Sometimes you can overdo it, how I did, and you can get a lot more profit into it. It might be a little rough at the beginning, a little awkward, a little, shit. Do I really want to do this? Do I not want to do this? But sometimes it does, and it worked, and all that weirdness was worth it at the end of the day. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes it'll literally reverse and go all the way back into your break even and your stop loss. So it's a risk that you want to take at that point. I am not here to teach you how to do that. That is for you to learn with yourself. And if you are willing to do that, if you're willing to want to go to the next level, I'm teaching you how to go from zero to take profit. Now, if you want more after that take profit, that is entirely up to you. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Don't worry. I'm going to teach you how to do that next week. So yeah, that's basically the set and forget strategy, guys. All right. What did you guys think of that? Did that make any sense? Did you guys even hear me at all? Were you guys laughing or was it trash? I mean, you guys can be brutally honest. Like I'm being honest. I feel like, it was appropriate. Great analogies. You guys had a good time. I'll tell you this right now. You never in your life forget these analogies. I'll tell you that right now. Dude, without the analogies, I wouldn't understand. Bro. This guy has my abs hurting. Bro, what a way to start off today. And you know what's funny? I had a completely different analogy, bro. Like I have a completely different analogy, dude. Like a completely different one. It was a surfing one. But whatever, I like this one at this point, so fuck it. My girl, wait, what is this? Where is this one? I'm a woman and I'm still laughing because you understand, because you understand. Fuck, dude, I lost it. My girl's looking at me weird after that analogy. Jose? Oh man, no, I can't say it. I don't know, bro. I just talk shit sometimes, bro. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. And bro, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I just know how to talk some shit sometimes. My girl said we can't hang. Diego, dump her. Get rid of her. Now. We're not. No, no. Diego, get rid of her. Think, you know what? I heard this. Nah, no, no, no. All right, cool. So I know there might be some questions. So I want for you guys to watch this recording. So before, let me just turn off the chat for a second, right? So section I thought we aren't supposed to train. Oh, dude, here we go with it. Okay, cool. So before I continue, I want you guys to see why yesterday's class I couldn't do it today. Like you guys see why you had to let the paint dry up and then we apply the next coat because it like imagine we would have kept going from yesterday's class to today. It would have been very confusing. It would have been very overwhelming. It would have been almost like what the fuck? Like, wait, slow down, give me a second. Well, I did. I slowed down and gave you a second. And now that you understood that, now you can see a little bit more on the candlesticks. Now, I can continue, obviously, and I can continue to repeat myself because everything that I'm going to be doing from this moment forward is going to just like literally just repeating myself. There is nothing that I'm going to add. There's nothing that I'm going to remove. There is nothing that I am not going to add. Like there's nothing different. I'm just literally going to repeat myself. And trust me, I am. And I'm totally okay with repeating. Like, and trust me, I'm gonna repeat myself more than enough times, live and in the recordings. So to save yourself and save myself, I want to end this class here because I don't want it to be overwhelming, right? Like this is the first coat of the black paint. Oh shit, you can see my hand in the mirror of the bathroom over there. See it over there? Oh shit, it's pretty sick. So you can like this is the first coat of the black paint. Now I can reapply another coat immediately right now, but it's not going to be the same. I have to let now the black paint dry. And then I can add another coat of black paint, which is going to then make it better. And then after that coat, then we're going to add clear coat. So then it is protected and has gloss and all that. Bro, analogies of the fucking day, man. I'm on fire. So yeah, that is going to be today's class quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Quotes of the day. Quotes of the day. Yeah? We already did. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Quote of the day. What do you think? Okay. Okay. This is gonna be funny, right? Quote of the day. You can have all the confluence. No, no, wait, what is it? You can have all the confluences to execute the trade, but at the end of the day, she can still be a dude. That's it. Mic drop. Go to the All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being part of today's class. Make sure you guys are here tomorrow. So tomorrow there might be a change in time. I'm gonna be brutally honest. And I'll tell you tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah, I'll tell you guys. I don't know if you guys know, and I'm gonna say this. Did I say it in the recording? Yeah, I'm gonna say it in the recording because if not, the people that watch the recording won't fucking understand. Does anybody know who John Jones is? Anybody know who John Jones is? John Jones. All right, cool. Actually, before that, before I say that, let me do a poll real quick. So, if you guys understood today's class, say yes. If not, say no. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So we have a 96% that understood this class and a 4% that needs to rewatch the recording. Thank you very much, guys. Sick. So for those of you guys that don't know, John Jones. This is John Jones, baddest motherfucker alive right now. Like actually, this is the guy that is literally the baddest motherfucker alive right now. Yeah. Tomorrow I might meet up with him. He wants to drive the Bugatti and shit. So that I don't know when that will go down tomorrow. I'm gonna try and figure that out, how I'm gonna do that. Yeah, he loves cars. He's in Miami and he invited me to like a private fight. So I'm gonna pull up to it, but he wants to do something with the Bugatti. So I don't know when exactly is that gonna be. Is it gonna be in the afternoon? Is it gonna be at nighttime? So it's gonna be I don't know. It's up in the air. But whatever, worst case, like I'll confirm by tonight. If not by tomorrow, just stay tuned to your email. Because I'm literally up in there. I'm around this guy's schedule, right? And he's only available tomorrow. So I don't know what should I do with him? Like he wants to chill for like an hour. So I can do anything with the Bugatti. I don't want him, I don't want to fight him. Like I'm not gonna do him like that. I'm not gonna end his career like that. Um, I'm gonna save him the chop his neck. Nah, bro. Nah. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Bring him to the boot camp. I don't think he knows much about trading, to my knowledge. Take him to La Carreta. Take him drifting. My drift car is almost done. Train with him. I don't know if he's down to train. This fucking guy. Am I gonna do a house tour when the house is done? Go out on a yacht. Hmm. I might do just Bugatti talk. Go inside the Bugatti and just talk. Ask him some deep questions. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. He's a busy guy, right? But we'll figure something out. All right, guys, thank you very much. Stay tuned to your email for the time. As of right now, the time remains the same, but there is a 80% chance there will be a modification in the time. So please be aware of that and please be ready. Thank you guys very much for being part of today's recording. Make sure to set and forget. Watch this fucking recording to qualify to be part of tomorrow's call. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you guys then. Take care.